Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video unboxing and first impressions of the iLife A4S, which is part of the second generation line of vacuum robots by iLife. The first generation came out about a year ago, and they were budget priced but performed pretty well compared to devices by iRobot or Dyson, which can sell for upwards of $800 for a robotic vacuum cleaner. Obviously, this one, isn't quite as fancy, but for the most part, the technology is the same and it performs quite well. The A4S claims to have improved efficiency in terms of picking up dust and dirt. It has a battery life of 140 minutes per clean, and when the battery is low, it's going to go to its dock to recharge automatically, which is fairly intelligent. So you can see some basic specifications located on the box. It comes with its own remote control, and the benefit of having a robot vacuum cleaner is not for it to clean a super large area after a month or two. It's meant to clean it regularly, so you can be programmed to clean maybe twice a week, so it goes under sofas and objects and picks up smaller grains, and that you can dump out regularly just to keep a room pretty clean. So that's really the intent here, since again the bin is going to be smaller than a traditional vacuum cleaner. So let's take a quick look. For some reason it's called the Beetle series, which is I guess what iLife labeled this under, and some basic info located on the side of the box. Again, it retails for about $200. You can get a little lower if you shop around, but pricing is fairly competitive, comes in a few color iterations as well. And the A4S, I would say, is in the middle of the line of their second generation vacuum cleaners. You can get the X5 series tends to perform a little better, but it's also slightly pricier. And here are the dimensions of the weight and also the size. So let's take a quick look at what's located inside the box. The A4S is also designed for carpeted floors slightly better than hardwood floors, but it cleans both surfaces without too many issues. But again, it's supposedly a, quote, carpet monster. That's at least part of the advertising campaign that iLife was going for when selling the A4S on Amazon. So there's another interior box, it seems like, that's slightly more carefully packaged. You can see the brushes are what it uses to detect and kind of suck in dust at the sides. A powerful suction motor. There's this 3-step cleaning process, programmable robot, and some basic advertisements as well. What's interesting is that when iRobot first came out on the market close to 8 years ago, they were priced at around $200, $250 as well if you purchased it through Costco. So the price has just gotten steeper and steeper as the features have improved and utility has improved. So iLife is kind of like iRobot, but at the first stages of the company. So there's a basic info about iLife. It looks like a sheet, and then there is a quick start guide documented below here. Printed in full color, tells you how to set it up, some basic info about the company, how to clean it up, mop the floors, how to position the base so it can find the robot without too many obstacles. And then there's also a more detailed user manual, documents the features and a bit more info. So here is the robot itself. We'll take a closer look at this in a second. Underneath here, there are 2 AAA batteries, which are probably for the remote control. The A4S does not include Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so it doesn't automatically connect to your smartphone. There isn't a app that you can get from the Play Store or something to, program the robot. You have to use the built-in remote control, which is a good thing and a bad thing. On the plus side, it doesn't take as much power, so it can last a little bit longer per go. And this is the remote. It's pretty easy to use. There's a simple LCD display, up, down, left, right controls, clean, max, for getting a particular spot. So if there is one area on the carpet that's super dirty, you can let it press on this key, so it's going to concentrate on that for a few seconds. And also a home, a clock. The display doesn't seem to have a backlight, but as long as there's a bit of ambient background light, you should be able to see it. Seems decent as far as construction is concerned. The 2 tips of the robot, it seems like, are detached, and you have to pop these in yourself the first time. And here's also a filter that can probably be replaced once it gets dirty for dust, and another kind of cleaning tool with brushes for emptying the bin. And here is the charger. It has a decent cable length, and you can see it uses this proprietary cable that plugs into the base for the dock that probably uses infrared technology for the robot to detect and then come back home. So here's what it looks like. It's made out of plastic. There is some basic LED notification lights, contact pins for the charging mechanism, and on the back there's some basic info from the company. And that's essentially it. It just plugs into power on the side here. Taking a look at the A4S itself, I take back the part about having to pop in the kind of cleaning brushes yourself. They seem to be pre-included, so this is actually just a spare in case these gets damaged or wears down over time. There's actually two that you can replace with standard screwdrivers. You can probably purchase more of these accessories and parts through iLife's Amazon site directly. On the back of the robot, there's some additional info about the company, which is based in Shenzhen. There's their website, and you can see the brushes as far as how this really cleans and moves to pick up the dust. It looks like this. It's mostly brushes instead of a rubber flap as far as the design there, and the wheels themselves look fairly high utility. They're pretty grippy and they're made out of a thick layer of rubber, so they shouldn't have too many problems moving over carpets and various rough surfaces. Obviously it's not going to climb stairs or anything, but it seems to be fairly flexible from the build. It's made out of plastic for the most part, a dedicated power switch on the side, some basic sensors for the infrared, and there's two tabs that says please remove before use, which are made out of foam, probably just during the transit to protect it. You have to pull these tabs out, and then this is kind of a malleable surface that can actually depress, as you can see if you press it all the way in, so that it doesn't break the robot. If it accidentally bumps into a wall or into a hard surface, it absorbs the shock a little bit and makes it last a little longer. So it will find the dock that way. The back here features the mechanism for the dustbin, so you can pull this out, and then this is the size of the dustbin that you can empty when it's done with a clean, and then pop it back in place. And then there's just the power switch on the front, which is chrome etched. You tap on this to turn it on, and there's also looks like a film that protects it a little bit during transit, and maybe you should just leave it on if you are in a super dusty environment. You don't want to regularly clean the surface of the robot. It's not too shiny. It's made out of this matte material, so it doesn't seem to attract that many fingerprints, but it is plastic as opposed to metal or aluminum, which is probably what it looks like on camera or in pictures. So overall, it seems to be a fairly standard size robotic vacuum cleaner. I'm going to dock it and let it charge for a few hours, and then I'm going to do a bit more testing next, and of course come out with a full review soon. But for now, this has been our unboxing and first impressions video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the iLife A4S Robotic Vacuum Cleaner.